faithfully sharing value, interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally telling stories. Today, I'll interpret this book for you called Everything I Know About Life Comes from Children's Books. Speaking of children's books, many adults might think, oh, isn't that just kids' picture books? Childish and simple. If you still hold such thoughts, you're completely wrong. Many children's books have exquisite compositions, complete narratives, and imply many life philosophies. Children's books not only bring children a joyful childhood, but also help them understand the world. The author of this book, Chen Sai, graduated from Peking University's School of Journalism and Communication, joined Sanlian Life Weekly in 2005, and is now the chief writer. In daily life, he often reads children's books with his son, and he's read at least 1,000 books. Once the magazine did a column on picture books, giving him the chance to interview children's book authors and deeply understand the background of creation. This experience deepened his understanding of children's books. So he wrote down his insights on children's books and introduced many excellent books to parents. This book builds a bridge between parents and children's book authors, helping parents understand the books and accurately grasp their value. Focusing on the value of children's books, I'll interpret the main content of this book through 3 parts. First, how to help children feel family love, friendship, and learn to treat others well. Second, how to help children learn to face life's disappointments. Third, how to exercise children's imagination and creativity. All right, let's start with the first part, how to help children feel family love, friendship, and learn to treat others well. Family love is the most commonly used theme in children's books. In life, many parents often complain that children don't know gratitude, taking parents' love for granted, while children's books help children better understand their parents' love and learn to be grateful. For example, in the book The Giving Tree, when the boy was young, he ran to the tree every day to play, made crowns from leaves, swung on the tree, and ate its apples. As the boy grew up, he didn't visit the tree for a long time, and the tree felt lonely. One day, the boy came to the tree and told it he needed money. So the tree let him pick all the apples to sell. And after a long time again, the boy came to the tree again and said he wanted to build a house. So the tree let him cut off all its branches to build it. The boy got older and older, and he told the tree that he was feeling down and wanted to build a boat. To leave this place, the tree let the boy cut off its trunk. After many, many years, the boy was old now, and he came to the tree saying, I can't walk anymore. I just want to sit down and rest. The tree straightened its back and let the boy sit on its stump. Even though the boy was very old now, in the tree's eyes, he was still that little child playing on the swing. Isn't this just like parents' love for their children? No matter what the child wants, parents will give everything without expecting anything in return. So, besides parents' sacrifices for children, children's books also show more scenes of parents and children happily interacting, like in Little Bear and His Best Dad, which tells about daily life between dad and child. The protagonists of this series are a little bear and his bear dad, and the dad bear cooks together with the little bear. Even though the process wasn't that smooth, the father and son still finish making baked potatoes, flour salad, and chocolate-filled bread together. After eating, the dad bear also takes the little bear to wash dishes by the river. Usually they play games together, like picking honey, fishing in the river, and organizing family gatherings. In today's society, moms are usually the main caregivers, and dad's involvement is low. This children's book series not only lets children feel the unique love from dads, but more importantly, it inspires dads to take action and participate in their children's growth. The games that Dad Bear and Little Bear play together in the book are the best examples for dad's parent-child activities. There are many other children's books about family love, like Guess How Much I Love You, My Dad, My Mom series, and so on. Reading more children's books on family love can help children feel parents' deep love, learn gratitude, and understand parents better. Besides family love, children's books can also deepen children's understanding of friendship. In the early stages of children's social interactions, the most common behavior is like, today you're my best friend. Tomorrow, I don't want to play with you. I want to play with someone else. In big hug. Mhm. It tells such a story. An outgoing little frog and an introverted, steady little hippo are best friends, playing together all day long. But then a little cow came, and the little frog ran to play with him. The little hippo was left behind, watching them play happily, feeling jealous and sad, crying in sorrow. At this point, the little frog returned to the little hippo and invited him to join, so all three became friends. Parents can't always protect their children under their wings. Children will eventually become independent and enter society. When children have misunderstandings or conflicts with friends, parents stepping in to solve it may not be good. Only by teaching children how to cope can they experience the joy of friendship. Some children's books tell stories of mutual support and selfless dedication among friends. Charlotte's Web is a representative work. In a farm barn, a pig named Wilbur and a spider named Charlotte became good friends. But bad news came. Wilbur would be killed at Christmas and made into smoked ham. Wilbur didn't know how to escape this tragic fate. Then Charlotte the spider said, "I'll save you." So Charlotte spun her web in the pig pen, leaving the words, "Some pig." Soon everyone knew, rushing to see the some pig on the farm. Charlotte later spun more words, terrified and radiant. These praises suddenly made Wilbur famous. The farmer took Wilbur to the county fair, where he defeated competitors and won a special prize. He no longer had to worry about being killed, and he thought life could return to peaceful happiness. But Charlotte, who had spun so hard, was reaching life's end. At their final farewell, she told Wilbur, "You have been my friend. I wove webs for you because I liked you." What is life after all? A spider's life spent only catching flies is meaningless. Helping you might elevate it. Life's value, as all know, is doing something meaningful while alive. This deeply touching children's book, Charlotte's Web, shows Charlotte helping Wilbur with her life. Not just because they were friends, but more importantly, because she wanted to do something meaningful. And if Charlotte's Web is a solemn ode to friendship, then We Are Friends is a gentle children's book about parting between kids. In summer, a little girl named Lily entered the forest and became good friends with a wild rabbit and snake, playing games together. Summer passed, winter came, and the little snake had to leave to hibernate, leaving only Lily and the rabbit behind. They felt very sad. To adults, this picture book tells a simple, even childish story. The game ended, everyone parted, yet this helps children understand life. Where there is gathering, there is separation. Where there is meeting, there is parting. Hmm. Parting and sadness in life are situations children often encounter. For example, when close friends move away or, daily playmates transfer schools, you should know loneliness is also an experience. As the book's author, Ava, said in an interview, nothing can change the fact that we're born alone, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy beautiful things. There are many children's books about friendship. Pumpkin Soup tells about division of labor and cooperation among friends. Good Friends is about the enduring nature of friendship. Parents reading more such books to children helps them feel friendship's sincerity. Family love and friendship are life's two most important parts. But the world is vast, and they'll meet many others, even strangers. Then children's books teach children how to treat others kindly. The grandma in Last Stop on Market Street gives the best example. Grandma and CJ take the bus together. After boarding, Grandma warmly greets everyone and encourages CJ to do the same. After one stop, a blind person boards and CJ asks Grandma why they can't see. After giving her seat to the blind person, Grandma answers, "Some people see the world with their ears." A nearby uncle tells the aunt beside him, "Here's one of 'em. Say, some people also know the world with their noses." "Ma'am, your perfume smells wonderful." And the whole bus laughed, everyone forgetting the blind person's difference. In today's society, many people are cold toward strangers. Think, do you greet people in elevators? Do you show understanding to delivery guys running late on rainy days? Of course, we're not teaching children to trust strangers unconditionally, but rather showing them that warmth can exist even in brief encounters with strangers. We should teach children to treat others kindly. All right, that concludes the first part we discussed today. Through children's books, kids can experience parents' deep, selfless love and recall joyful moments spent together. These books also teach children how to handle friendships, little jealousies, goodbyes, mutual support, and selfless giving. And beyond family and friendships, themes of kindness help children see the world as warm and beautiful. However, as children grow, besides love, they'll face life's disappointments. In the real world, children can't always have smooth sailing. They'll encounter setbacks and failures, the death of loved ones, or even facing war. So, how should parents share these harsh truths with children? Let's see what children's books say. This brings us to our second part today. First, how should children face setbacks and failures in life and studies? The Most Magnificent Thing is a children's book about overcoming setbacks. It features a girl who wants to create the most magnificent thing. With her dog assistant's help, she plans and prepares materials, but execution proves challenging. She tries repeatedly but can't achieve magnificence. Ready to quit, her dog assistant suggests a walk to clear her mind. Returning, she finds inspiration in failed attempts and finally completes her creation. In this story, the girl faces common frustration from unmet perfection, something every child experiences. But her persistence shows kids it's okay to fail. Don't be defeated, learn and keep trying. This resilient spirit will benefit them throughout life. There are many children's books about setbacks, like Solo Champion and My Little Sorrows. Parents can read more such children's books to kids, enhancing their resilience. When facing setbacks, children can change outcomes with their strong willpower. But when facing death, they might struggle to accept reality, especially as grandparents pass away during their growing years. So, how should parents teach children to face life and death? The children's book Grandpa Became a Ghost gently explains death and farewell. The little boy Esben's grandfather had a sudden heart attack on the street and never woke up. Mom told Esben Grandpa went to heaven and became an angel. Dad told Esben Grandpa was buried and returned to soil. Esben couldn't accept this. He couldn't imagine Grandpa with silly wings or disappearing into dirt. That night, Grandpa appeared in Esben's room. Now a ghost, Grandpa said he shouldn't be there. But he'd forgotten something important before leaving peacefully. So Esben and Grandpa reminisced about life's key moments together. Grandpa recalled his childhood, falling in love with Grandma, and Esben's dad's birth. He remembered his pet cat, Strawberry Garden, and favorite TV shows. Esben recalled amusement park visits, car races, and fishing trips with Grandpa. Finally, Grandpa remembered. He'd left without saying goodbye. He solemnly bid farewell, asking Esben to be good and remember him, then disappeared. Death is hard for parents to discuss. They fear children can't handle it and avoid their own grief. This book calmly tells kids death means never meeting again. But we keep happy memories, and after proper goodbyes, must move forward. There are many children's books about death, like Upstairs Grandma, Downstairs Grandma, which also deals with losing loved ones. The Cat Who Lived a Million Times offers another perspective through a cat's experiences. Its experiences with death and rebirth help children understand life's true meaning and happiness. Yet what's harder to accept than death is war. War brings profound disasters, destroying families, fueling hatred between nations and ethnic groups, and damaging both ecology and human civilization. Thus, teaching children about war's dangers and fostering peace consciousness is essential life education. The Man with Half a Face tells such a war story. The young protagonist's grandfather was torpedoed in 281, leaving half his face burned and disfigured. Doctors reassembled it like a puzzle, but missing pieces left it chaotic. The grandmother couldn't endure this, taking the protagonist's mother, then a child, away, not seeing him for over a decade. The grandfather lived in lonely misery, growing increasingly withdrawn and avoiding all contact. Years later, after learning her father's fate, the mother persistently wrote to him. After having her own child, she encouraged their fishing trips and playtime, gradually drawing grandfather from his isolation. This book indirectly condemns war's harm, showing children how war brings tragedy to everyone. Even victors suffer. Soldiers return wounded from battlefields. Many families struggle to accept them. They feel socially abandoned, and such cases abound. Countless returning soldiers become homeless. Europe still has veterans' homes sheltering them. Even physically healthy soldiers develop severe mental illnesses like PTSD, requiring ongoing therapy. This shows war's devastating impact. Ordinary civilians become displaced refugees, living in poverty, far from homeland. How I Learned Geography depicts such post-war hardship. War destroyed their home. Parents fled with their child to Central Asia, harsh environment, scarce food or clothing, with only one silver coin left. He took the silver coin to the market to buy bread. But as night fell, father brought home a map instead, mother and child's stomachs growling with hunger. Seeing the map, they resented father. Trading bread for a map, could anything be more absurd? But father said one coin could only buy a tiny loaf, insufficient for the family. Facing poverty, people live like ants. Yet material lack shouldn't mean spiritual impoverishment. Life isn't just survival. It can hold broader spiritual worlds, richer inner lives, higher horizons. Father believed coins could be re-earned, but lost spiritual nourishment was irreplaceable. Father and child traced places on the map, finding deserts, beaches, snow mountains, jungles. They imagined landing in scorching deserts, running beaches, climbing icy peaks, drinking jungle streams. Map studies carried them through dark times. Ultimately, the child embraced father's choice. The book's brilliance, showing how a small map teaches that spiritual richness shields against suffering. Many war-themed books exist, like The Boy on the Wooden Box at Auschwitz and The Wall at Memorializing Fallen Soldiers. Sharing these stories helps children grasp war's brutality and cherish peace. All right, that concludes today's second section. Parents want carefree childhoods, yet hardships, insurmountable struggles, loss, even war, are inevitable growth steps. Children's books teach perseverance through setbacks. They show how to face misfortune with strength and optimism. But then, children's books' true magic, igniting imagination and creativity. And imagination's foundation? Observation and questioning. That leads to our final topic. First, observation, finding wonder in the ordinary. Children are the best observers. In their eyes, flowers, plants, and little animals are all unique. They notice the tiniest differences between two flowers. But adults? They've grown accustomed to these differences through daily routines. Picasso once said, "Every child is a born artist." The question is how to keep that talent while growing up. That's where children's books come in. Children's book writers excel at highlighting ordinary differences to nurture observation and spark imagination. Like in Little Cloud, simple clouds take countless shapes: sheep, rabbits, planes, sharks. Or Green, it explores nature's infinite greens beyond the basic shade kids know. With painterly strokes, it shows lush forest greens, tropical sea greens, yellow-tinted lime greens, even firefly glow greens. When inspired by such books, children return to nature, noticing wonders everywhere. Observation naturally breeds questions. And they're probably the world's most enthusiastic question askers. The book, Big Questions from Little People, documents kids' quirky questions to experts. One child asked, "What am I made of?" Physicist Lawrence Krauss replied, "Everything in us and around us is tiny atoms, different types called elements. Long ago, exploding stars created elements forming our solar system, the sun, earth, and all life." Krauss added humorously, "Atoms in your left or right hands may come from different stars. You're truly stardust." Another child asked, "Why are farts so funny?" Comedian Miranda Hart answered, "Farting's natural, but people treat it as hush hush. So when hearing someone fart, everyone thinks they made a mistake. The situation becomes instantly awkward yet hilarious. Especially at weddings or meeting VIPs, the more formal the occasion, the funnier it gets." Children ask questions to explore their world and find cause-effect relationships. Answering seriously not only protects their imagination, but sparks creativity. Like that kid asking, "What am I made of?" Inspired by experts, they might develop huge interest in physics and space. Who knows, they might become brilliant scientists someday. Parents should share science-themed books like Underground or The Honeybee. These answer life's questions while developing intellect and world curiosity. All right, that wraps part 3. Children's books teach observation, questioning, and world discovery. These are the best ways to nurture imagination and creativity. Let's review today's content. Books help children feel parental love, friendship bonds, and human kindness. But the world isn't always beautiful. It has darkness and cruelty too. Books don't avoid these. They teach children to face setbacks and loss. They show war-torn realities, yet how to persevere through hardship. Science books help observe, think, and find wonder in our world. As Anderson said, children may forget which flower they first lay in, but grown-ups carry its essence, saying, "This is my favorite flower." Hmm. Children may forget story details when grown, but the lessons imprint on their souls, benefiting them lifelong. That concludes everything I know about life comes from children's books. Notes below. See you tomorrow.